Have you ever looked at the calendar and felt a quiet wave of panic? It's 2025. Time is flying. And deep down, you know that either something changes now, or December will find you exactly where you've always been. The good news? You can end this year with a completely different life. The bad? It won't happen on its own. And it definitely won't happen with more empty promises of a millionaire mindset without real action. But here's what few people are brave enough to say. Yes, you can become a millionaire woman by the end of 2025. It's not easy or magical, but it's mathematically, strategically, and emotionally possible. I've worked with women who went from stuck in March to closing six-figure deals in October, and none of them had a miracle. They made bold decisions, built new systems, and above all, started with what they had. If you're ready to hear some hard truths, apply them seriously, and stop playing business, this video is for you. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel now, because what comes next might literally hand you the roadmap to the most important breakthrough of your life. 1. It all starts when you decide to stop surviving and start building. Sounds simple, but the first big shift is an internal one. Stop living on autopilot. Stop just surviving. And start, for real, building a life that leads to exponential results. Most women who end the year feeling frustrated aren't lost because they lack potential. They're trapped in a cycle of routine, distraction, and accumulated exhaustion. They work hard, they produce a lot, and in the end, they barely accumulate anything. One of them told me, "Before things started working, I had to admit I was too busy with things that weren't making me richer. I had to swallow my pride of always doing in order to start building something that would actually take me to the next level." That's the turning point, moving from blind execution to smart construction. Stop being busy with what doesn't pay your future, and start managing your time, energy, and decisions like you're running a seven-figure business, even if you're just starting out. Women who end the year as millionaires start the year with this radical decision. I will no longer repeat the same old structure. Have you made that decision? Comment below. In 2025, I don't just survive, if this first point lit a fire in you. 2. They choose one single income stream and focus until it scales. Want to accelerate your results in 2025? Stop trying 1,000 things at once. Women who get rich in 12 months don't hop from idea to idea. They pick one single income stream and scale it with obsession. One entrepreneur who went from zero at 26 told me, "In the beginning, I sold everything. Physical products, digital ones, affiliate stuff. I only started growing for real when I chose one model, gave it 100% focus, and built processes until it scaled." That's exactly the point. You don't need 7 streams of income. You need one that works, scales, and has good margins. It could be a digital service, mentorship, scalable product, or info product. The key is, one well-built system is worth more than 10 poorly executed ideas. These women dive deep into the market they choose. They know where the money is. They know what they need to deliver. And they do it without distraction, without chasing trends. If 2025 is your year, choose your vehicle now, and treat it as your top priority. Have you chosen your main source of wealth? Comment below. I focus until I scale. If you get that, clarity beats variety. 3. They become an authority in their niche before trying to become a general reference. If you want to be remembered, sought after, hired, you need to be seen as an authority. But here's the secret of the women who flip the script before December. They become an authority in a micro niche before trying to conquer the world. A copywriter who made her first million selling mentorships told me, "I spent 6 months speaking only to therapists. I didn't try to speak to everyone. I was so specific and consistent that I became the go-to name for that audience." That's the strategy: niche, consistency, mastery. When you speak to everyone, no one hears you. When you own a specific space, it puts you on the map. These women pick a clear audience, a specific problem, and a direct positioning. They create content that educates, solves, and inspires. And over time, they become unavoidable for that group. After that, they expand, but never without first building a solid base. Don't try to be number one on the internet. Be number one for your audience. That's what brings in revenue, a full calendar, and real authority. Do you already know who you're talking to? Or are you still trying to please everyone? Comment below. I'm an authority where it matters, if this step needs your full attention right now. 4. They treat money like partners treat capital, with strategy and respect. Women who end the year as millionaires don't see money as an emotional prize. They see it as strategic capital. That's why they manage it, move it, and make decisions with a vision that goes way beyond just making more. One entrepreneur who went from informal work to multiple 6 figures told me, "Before I could grow, I had to stop treating money as something meant for instant pleasure. I started treating it as a building tool. Every time I got paid, I'd ask myself, is this going to come back as growth or just gratification? That mindset changes everything. She doesn't spend to relieve stress, doesn't invest to look good, and doesn't save out of fear. She moves money like a CEO. Where does this bring return? How does this accelerate my path to real freedom? And it starts small, with organization, analysis, and ritual. They know what they need. They know what's coming in. They know what's going into reinvestment. They don't live in financial darkness. If you want to end 2025 as a millionaire, you need to make decisions like someone who already is. Are you treating money like emotional support or as a strategic partner? Comment, I manage like a millionaire. If you understand that financial mindset is a game changer. 5. They build a high-performance routine before success arrives. When you see a millionaire woman on stage, on Instagram, at events, you don't see the behind the scenes. And what sustains that behind the scenes, every day, is a routine that might look ordinary, but is deliberately designed for consistency, focus, and growth. A 29-year-old CEO told me, my routine isn't glamorous. I wake up at the same time, review my goals, organize my focus blocks, and have a strategy meeting with myself every Monday. Before I had $1 million business, I already behaved like someone running one. These women don't let life just happen. They structure their time, create windows for deep work, reserve space to think. They don't operate reactively. They operate with structure. They have small, but lethal, habits, set wake-up times, weekly goal reviews, monthly progress evaluations, deep work blocks, time for silence and reading. This routine isn't a prison. It's a foundation. And it's what allows them to grow with structure, without collapsing. Are you building a life that supports your success, or just surviving from task to task? Comment, my routine supports my growth. If you understand that consistency doesn't come from inspiration, it comes from structure. 6. They eliminate people, habits, and distractions that don't support the next level. Every woman who becomes a millionaire in 12 months carries an invisible list of strategic cuts. And we're not just talking about finances. We're talking about people who slow you down, habits that drain you, and distractions that seem harmless, but pull you away from your new self. One of them, who left her 9 to 5 and hit 7 figures in under a year, said, I had to mute friendships that only complained, stop replying to messages with no direction, and completely overhaul my digital consumption. My feed, my routine, my mind, everything went through a filter. These women develop a ruthless radar. Does this person strengthen or drain me? Does this content inspire or drown me? Does this choice bring me closer or numb me? And based on that, they decide. Without guilt, without romanticizing, because they understand that growth needs space. And space only shows up when the unnecessary is cut. They don't wait for life to fall apart to act. They clear the path first. And that speeds things up, because what delays a powerful woman the most isn't lack of knowledge. It's excess noise. Are you clearing the path or still carrying baggage from old cycles? Comment, I clear to grow, if this part called you to do an inner and outer cleanup. 7. They use digital as a bridge, not a prison. Women who flip their financial script by December understand one thing most people miss. The internet is a lever, not an emotional stage. They show up with strategy, not neediness. They build a digital presence, but they don't live for it. One of them, who earns multiple 7 figures through consulting, put it bluntly. If my story doesn't build authority or drive conversion, I don't post it. Period. I'm not here to feed egos. I'm here to build an empire. These women plan their communication like a CEO plans a campaign. They know who they're talking to. They know what they need to deliver, and they know what doesn't deserve a second of their time. They don't live for engagement. They live for impact. They know one clear, intentional message is worth more than 20 empty posts a week. More than that, they respect the behind the scenes. They know silence off the feed is where big decisions are made. And they're not afraid to disappear in order to create and come back stronger. Are you using the internet as a tool, or is it using you? Comment, I show up with purpose. If you understand that digital presence without direction is just another distraction. 8. They turn micro wins into real traction. Women who hit their first million before the end of the year don't underestimate small victories. While most people only celebrate big numbers, they know every micro win is raw material for building authority, consistency, and results. One of them, who started with just 3 consulting clients, said, I treated each sale like $1 million win. I posted testimonials, reinforced the value, multiplied the story. That's how other people started seeing me as a specialist. These women use every step as living proof that they're moving forward. A happy client becomes a reputation campaign. A simple result becomes a powerful case study. A compliment becomes content. A payment becomes reinvestment. Nothing goes unnoticed. Because they understand money doesn't only come from excellence, it comes from strategic perception of their delivery. They build traction using what they already have, even if it still feels small. And when the world finally notices, they're already 5 steps ahead, building in silence, celebrating along the way. Are you turning your small wins into public proof of your authority? Comment, I build with every step, if you understand that no one grows big without using what they already have. 9. They anticipate hard decisions and make them without asking for permission. The difference between those who grow slowly and those who leap financially lies here. The women who finish 2025 as millionaires don't avoid hard decisions. They anticipate them. While most people delay change, dodge commitments, or sweep conflict under the rug, these women face discomfort early to avoid crisis later. And more, they make decisions from conviction, not consensus. One of them, founder of a startup, said, "Before we grew, I had to let go of a partner who was also a friend. I waited too long and it was draining my business. When I finally acted, growth came like an avalanche. I learned, hard decisions only get more expensive with time. They make strategic decisions directly. No drama, no detours, no need to explain themselves to the world. Because they know leaders must decide before chaos hits. This applies to everything. Changing positioning, ending partnerships, adjusting prices, closing cycles. Those who decide first lead their own growth. Have you been putting off decisions you know need to be made? Comment, I choose to act before the collapse, if this point hit a nerve on something you've been delaying. 10. They live 2025 as if it were already December, with the million achieved. Finally, the biggest key that unites all the women who flip the script before year's end is simple but profound. They live now as if December has already arrived, and the million is already theirs. This isn't make-believe. It's an internal decision. It's what guides what they wear, who they spend time with, what they say, what they tolerate, what they prioritize. It's a kind of future anchored in the present. They act as if they already know the outcome. A 27-year-old entrepreneur said, "In March, I wrote on a piece of paper, on December 31st, 2025, my company will have made $1 million. And from that day on, I started acting like someone who needed to make it happen. Not with anxiety, with decision." These women operate with rhythm, focus, and the posture of someone who doesn't need approval, because they already have direction. And that behavior shapes the environment, attracts partners, clients, opportunities, because no one can resist someone who moves with clarity. While others wait for a green light, they're already hitting the gas. Are you already acting like the woman you want to be, or are you still waiting for permission? Comment, I act like a millionaire now, if this final step solidified the vision of what needs to be done. You can keep saying that 2025 is flying by, or you can use the months left to build the life your millionaire self will thank you for, with pride. Today you saw that it's not about luck or magic formulas. It's about patterns, about decisions, about a sequence of actions that real women are applying, and who are, right now, living what once seemed unlikely. All of this is within your reach, but only if you stop treating your goal like a dream and start treating it like a project, with deadlines, structure, and commitment. Now comment, I flipped the script in 2025. If this script gave you the spark you needed to break out of inertia, and if this content made sense to you, like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a woman who's ready to start before being applauded. Because the millionaire woman you admire today is already inside you. All she needs is a plan, a step, and a now.